This is a Pyramid One International Network presentation. Hi, and welcome to Pyramid One World Radio. Let me tell you about the host coming up. His name is Dr. Randall George Nozawa. The doctor was blinded after two tragedies. Nozawa's will to live a full life continues undeterred. The doctor is living proof that a person can do everything right, only to suffer horrific events that stop decades of hard work and left him blind. The two most gruesome tragedies he suffered would make the fire-breathing Godzilla buckle in bitterness, but not Nozawa. He's grateful just to be alive. Nozawa had played high school football in Honolulu and later became a professional bodybuilder. When he moved to Washington State, the crashing came down and foiled all his best laid plans. It was the first of two tragic events that would change his life forever. Muscle-bound Nozawa enrolled at the University of Washington's dental school, studied hard, and faithfully graduated. Yet years later, after opening a handful of when he could finally afford the lifestyle he had always wanted, a tree came crashing down on him. Dr. George Nozawa says, "I am here to help you most out of bad situations. I was brutally harmed by two violent acts and should have died 2 times. I had to lose both of my eyes to see how to teach myself and others how to overcome the worst." Now, I'm sure you cannot wait to hear the doctor. And if anyone wants to get in touch with the doctor, here's a way to get in touch with him. Just email him at Mirabelle, MIRABELLE Nozawa, NOZAWA @gmail.com. Now, let's bring on the doctor. Be the change.
Wow. Wow.
Well, there you go, Doc.
Bob, we have such a great show today and a great guest. And, of all things, I learned of Christy actually from an early morning documentary about this world famous boxer who was abused and shot by her husband. And of course, that automatically, got me. Who is this? So I went to go look her up, and thanks to computer, it's we can do that. And just incredible story. And here's a person from West Virginia, and I know that's a place, but of course, I've only heard it in a John Denver song. But here's a person who comes from a small town and all that, and becomes an all-state basketball player, and plays Little League baseball and all that, and gets a scholarship for basketball at a college. And I go, wow, that's incredible. She's that good, and gets her college degree in education. I said, this is look at this person just heading off to do great things. And then, of course, she found out that she was good with her fists in fighting. So she, took up, boxing, and had to get into that trade. And I guess before that, I'll back this up because I'm always into cause and effect and root causes and all that. And her knowing of her sexuality, I think, played an integral role in one, who she was, and also why at an early age she got rejected, because of that. And we'll talk more about that later. But now she's getting into boxing, and winning these Toughwoman fights for I think 3 times running, and how to box, and for the next 20 something odd years, keeps on winning and winning and winning championships, and but eventually elected to all these boxing Hall of Fames and all that worldwide. And in this journey is a marriage to her initially her trainer, Jim Martin. And what no one knows was all the horrendous abuse that went on in that relationship that the public doesn't know, because they just know her prowess in the ring, but all the mental, physical abuse that she had to endure for all those years. And then come later on, she wants out. Okay, she wants to be her authentic self. She wants to let her authentic love pour through her. And just like you say, Bob, she wanted to take that stand for I am, and that's one, individuality, the other is being that significant person that God put her on earth to be, and she wanted out, and knowing that she was threatened by her husband. Jim, if you ever leave me, I'll kill you. And he tried. Stabbing her numerous times, and then shooting her in the chest. And then from there, as she lays dying on the floor, he going to go take a shower and all that. And from there, she summoned the courage and strength to try to get out of the house, and did. And she almost died, but she didn't. And like we had discussed earlier, Christy, God didn't want you to die, because there are bigger plans for you. And I think you are, well, as huge and massive a celebrity as you are in the ring, you're more so outside the ring for what you do, because of your teaching, instructing other people about abuse, and what to do about it, and your life explains all of that and signifies what can be done when self-love comes first. And with that comes the courage someone thinks they never have. But anyway, by the way, with all the celebrity you have, here you are, you make the cover of Sports Illustrated, right? And well, it was me. I get about 1,000 copies and autograph them all and give them away. But that's just me. But please talk about that too. But so happy to have you on the show. And everyone, she's Christy Salters, and you might have known her back when as Christy Martin, the most celebrated, most successful female boxer in history. Okay, she legitimized women's boxing, and I think more than just from her fists, but from her heart. And we get to hear from her today, and it's an honor and pleasure to have you on. So, Christy, welcome. And why don't you tell the Pyramid One worldwide audience a little bit about your background and why you got into boxing?
Yeah, it's an honor to be with you. You're very uplifting and special. I love to hear your voice, and when I get your messages, it's like, oh, this is how I have to be. I have to be positive. I'm one of those that sometimes I want to throw pity parties for myself, and I just can't. On the outside, I do that too. But it's that internal. I might internalize a pity party, but I'm projecting strength for everybody else. But anyway, I'm from a small town in southern West Virginia, coal miner's daughter, and just lucky. Right place at the right time. Got some breaks with the boxing career. Don King was my promoter for many years. Fought under Mike Tyson, Julio Caesar Chavez, Tito Trinidad, on cards with Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns. I mean, these are like legends of our sport, and to be involved in shows that they were on, it was unbelievable. Again, from such a small town, I have like 300 people in my town. So to go from 300 people to fighting at Madison Square Garden, fighting at the MGM Grand, Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, it's unbelievable. It's not even big enough for that as a description. But I made it, and on the outside, it looked so perfect to so many people, and so many people, I wish I were in your spot. I wish and they would tell me this, and in my mind I would be thinking, yeah, you think you wish you were in my spot, because on the outside it looks all great and rosy, but on the inside, when the doors close, it's a totally different story, and that's what it was. It was
Different
20 years of hell. 20 years of hell. And Jim Martin was on the boxing side of it. He taught me great boxing skills. Did some great promoting, but on the personal side, it was torment. It was emotional torment. He separated me from my family. He told me and convinced me that my friends didn't like me. They only wanted to be around me because I could get them tickets for Tyson fights. The boxing world hated me, and this is my profession. This is my world. This is my life. And he was like, oh no, everybody in the boxing world hates you. No one wants to deal with you. And I was, after a while, you hear it over and over, and so many times you start to believe it. And I did. I believed it until about 2 days after he had shot me, and I was in the hospital, and got my phone and logged into Facebook and saw all the messages from people that wishing me well and so sorry what had happened, and just supporting me. And then I realized, no, the boxing world doesn't hate me. My family doesn't hate me. The world isn't against me. He just he was a magnificent manipulator.
That sounds like one of those spots where all of a sudden you look and there's a world out there.
And you know what? This is crazy, but it is so true. I was with him and married to him about 19 years. And after the shooting, I went to, I think it was even like to a Walmart just to buy like basic stuff. And I just walked around and had to leave because I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know, without somebody telling me what I needed and what I was supposed to buy. I didn't know what I wanted. And then to go to the mall and try to actually buy clothes, I didn't know what I wanted to wear because I did, for so long he had told me what I was going to wear, what I was going to wear. I never wore a t-shirt for 20 years. I never had a t-shirt on unless I was going to the boxing gym. It was unbelievable what I let him just break me down. And I want to only blame me, but really it was all him. I mean, it was him that pulled the trigger. It was him that stabbed me. It was him. But they're great manipulators and abusers. They know how to wear you down.
There are some out there, that's for sure. I did have a question. I know the doctor's probably going to ask you more about this. I saw that you do some work with domestic violence.
For sure. I mean, my nonprofit is Christy's Champs, and
There you go.
we do lots of things. I mean, first of all, as I woke up about 2 days after being in the hospital, look, God left me here for a reason, and that reason, the only reason I can justify, is to share my story and talk about domestic violence so that other people don't have to go through what I did for so many years. So that's what I've tried to do. And with Christy's Champs, we're trying to break the cycle. We are working, and of course, I use boxing as my platform. But through boxing gyms, local boxing gyms, we are adding computers, we're adding mentors, we're adding tutors. We're trying to show these kids, bringing them from domestic violence shelters, and show them a different type of family. Like everybody in the gym, we're all supporting each other. We want you to do well, work a little harder, push you to be more successful. But at the same time, there's a tutor there. And most of them are like retired teachers are coming in, and they're there a couple days a week, and they'll spend time with the kids to help them stay abreast with their lessons, make sure they're getting all their homework in, make sure they have access to computers, because even though we take it for granted, there are some kids that don't have computers at home. They don't have the internet. They don't have a computer. So we make that available to them. The computers, the printers, everything that they may need to keep up with their homework, their schoolwork. And that's really my passion, because if we don't break the cycle, then we're just going to keep, we're just going to keep doing the same old stuff. So if we can teach these kids that they see nothing but abuse at home, that's not the right way. That's not the norm. I mean, if that's what you think, you don't know that that's not normal. So we have to show them that there's love out there.
That is incredible. So why I wanted you on the show, and why, of course, I try to contact a lot of people, and I found this Texas number down there, and I called it, and a lot of times with the people that I call or contact, they never contact me back, and here you are an hour later. Hi, this is Christy Martin. Oh gosh, she called back. Wow.
Sure.
Yeah, and we had this great conversation, and like I said, I looked all your stuff up, and with all the accolades and celebrity you got in the ring, you're a bigger champion outside of the ring because of what you do, with domestic abuse and all that, because you lived through it, because you're an expert. Besides being a boxing champion, you're an expert at being abused, because you know this kind of personality that you're dealing with for those 19 plus years. Because what's on the outside, like you're saying, it's you have no idea what goes on behind closed doors, or you think, oh, look at Christy with all the limelight and all that, and she's boxing on all these cards with these mega superstars, which you are also. But when you go home, one, you get not only verbally abused, but emotionally abused, and then physically abused. And like you were telling me the other day, there's a reason why you didn't die. I mean, you get a punctured lung out of the deal, you get shot in the chest, you should be dead, but you didn't die, and you had enough gumption to get outside of the house. Of course, you grabbed the wrong keys.
Right.
That kind of actually made me laugh. And it's kind of a gross situation, but here you are. But there's so much for you to share, because when you see our humankind, we can do just the greatest things, but we can also do the worst things that is unimaginable. And then you live through it. You are a walking, living documentary, because you live through all that, and you bring so much good to the world from one. That suffering that you went through, brought you greatness in the public eye, but you had to pay a price for it. So, Christy, how are you doing now with everything? Because, we, email here and there, and I listen to you, and then, you're doing so much great stuff. But I think what people don't know is all those years of just abuse, and you touched on it earlier. You get told something enough, and that's learning, repetition, mother of skill, right? You get told you're nothing, you're worthless, you're basically zero without me. Because of me, I made you, and otherwise you're nothing, and nobody likes you. You're gay. Who likes a gay fighter? Nobody. Everyone hates you, and then you're going, wow, the thing that I love to do most. Oh my gosh! I mean, everyone hates me, and it's only because I win fights and all that. And so, what has that did to you back when? And I know you're still working through it now, but I think a lot of people are feeling those things too, because who do they talk to? Because you had no one to talk to. You had no one. You were isolated, which you did. Okay, and then please speak on your parents too. If you will, because they're kind of stuck in the old mentality of just the normalcy of life is heterosexual, and if you're not, then you're kind of strange and weird, right? And our world is not like that. We 25-30% of our world is gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, and all that, and 60% and more in the animal world. So that's normal. Diversity is normal, but you got beat down for that. But so can you speak on that too? Because I think a lot of people are going through that also.
Well, I think that the hardest thing for me has been to accept me, and not accept me as a gay person. That's who I've been since I knew that's who I was since I was 12, 11, 12. But just to be strong and to believe in me. That's the fight that I'm still trying to conquer. That's the fight I still need to win, is to believe in me. I can tell you, and I can tell thousands of people out there how they can do it, why they can do it, why they're strong. But to believe that I am strong, that's my battle, and that's where I'm still working. But hopefully, I'm hoping that I give other people strength, and by giving them strength, it strengthens me. And so at some point, I'm going to get there. It's just taking me a little longer, to cross that last hurdle than I really want. And maybe that's part of it. You when you want something so badly, sometimes it's harder to accomplish because you want it so badly. You just need to relax and let it happen. And maybe that's part of my issue. I just need to relax and be confident, and believe in me.
Let me
Lisa,
ask,
Lisa tells me that if I could see me through other people's eyes, I wouldn't have an issue, but I can't see me through other people's eyes.
Doc, can I ask her a question?
No, no, please, you go. Jump in, Bob.
Oh, Christy, now you're mine.
Yeah.
Now you know what, they do that in fights too, and that you look right in somebody's eyes, and you say, "You're going down."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So here we go. Try this. I'm gonna give you something to do. Try it. It works. I'm serious.
Okay.
One of these days, probably today, go in the bathroom. Look in the mirror. I mean, close, like 4 inches away.
Yeah.
Look into your eyes. I mean, into your eyes. I don't mean around. I don't mean the mirror. I don't mean your nose or your lips or anything else. Look in your eyeballs and say this. Repeat after me. I love you.
Yeah.
The eyes are the windows to your soul.
Yeah.
If your soul believes that you believe, then you will believe.
I,
Like what the doctor said, my whole thing is I am. When you know yourself, then everyone else will know you, and you will know everyone else. It's very, very simple net to do. I wish everybody in the whole population of this planet did it, but they don't. And looking in the mirror, that's just the thing to get you started. Because once your soul knows what you're doing, the rest of your body and that will follow it.
Yeah, I've actually worked on and those exact things with daily affirmations, and just um it's like when I gain a little bit, and then I will keep myself in check, but I know it's his voice that's still keeping me down, keeping me from so positive and believing in me. So I mean, I honestly am. I'm still working on it, but as long as I feel like I can project positivity for other people, then I'm going to get there for me too. It's maybe going to take me a little longer than I want it to.
Yeah, but you got to practice. You
Yeah,
got to.
you're right. You're right, and you're absolutely right, because I don't practice on me enough. I'm always thinking about what I can do to make it good for someone else, and I need to. You're absolutely right. Think
I've
about me a little bit.
done it, and Jamie Clark, who is one of the hosters on here, who is also the winner 2 years of being the top world class psychic and medium. So he's very, very good. And him as a mentor to me, he's even said, what I'm doing is correct because. And the because is through my whole life, I come from a very long music background, like almost 40 years.
Wow.
And you do that, and then you do radio, and then I did a lot of promotion net to big companies like Capital One, and all those kind of companies in Manhattan and New York, and talked in front of them and everything else. So of course, just like you get things from all angles at the same time, and then you have one person or one thing that is ruling you in a way. It doesn't
Right.
have to be as directly as yours, but still, it's ruling you. So what I did through the years, through something that I had told Jamie, is the looking in the mirror and believing in myself, knowing that I love me.
Yeah.
If I love me, I got a beat, and I'm great. I
Right.
won. I won the fight because I know I love me.
Right. You're right. You're right. You're 100% right.
And if every single person that had domestic violence and everything else did this kind of, it's small. It's just a little bit of an exercise. It's nothing, But if everybody did it and believed in it, oh, I'm telling you, it would turn their lives around.
Yeah, and if the thing is, so many people out there in domestic violence situations, they feel like they're all alone. Like they
Right.
don't know who to reach out to. They think they don't have anyone to reach out to, and that was part of my situation. I didn't know who I could trust, and most of our friends were our friends because we had been married so long. As you're married so many years, you start to know the same people, and you just don't know. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know that if I say something to X, Y, or Z, that they're not going to go back and like confront him. And then that just makes things worse for me. And then it will alienate me from those people. You just don't know. You don't know where to reach out to. And that's what I try to tell people, that I'm here. And I have a little thing on like Facebook that I tell people that even if you're with your abuser and you feel like you can't reach out, text me or message me and say, I want to buy some makeup. And then I'm going to know that you need help, that you need me, because clearly I don't sell makeup. So, I try to use different little things to let people reach out to me if they need to. And then we direct them through Christy's Champs. We direct them to a shelter or someone safe in their area.
See, Doc, what did I say to you before? Right? She's doing
Yeah.
it. She's doing it.
No, wow.
Zach will talk to you about another idea that I gave him and that before, and that we might be able to help a little bit.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask was one more thing, and out of all these people that do contact you, do any of them ever, are they in the direction of thinking they want to commit suicide?
No, not really. Most everybody that reaches to me, they just want out. And it hasn't been the suicide thing, even though my grandfather committed suicide. So I'm very familiar with the after effects anyway.
Hmm?
Um, and I do know that with the sexuality thing, and so many people that are not comfortable with their sexuality, or they feel not accepted by their family and friends, suicide seems like the easy out for them, because no one's going to ever accept me as the person that I am. So yeah, I mean, suicide definitely has touched my life personally, but I'm also very aware of how it you know factors into the sexuality part, the domestic violence. I'm very familiar.
What I was going to say was you were right, because you did say that it was the end result, the end thing, the last thing that they can do to satisfy themselves on what they want to do. And the funny part about it is there is so much room in between that point and the point where they want out, where they're in trouble.
Right.
They need to talk to people. They really, really do. I mean, like as I said to the doc before, they got to talk to somebody that they can feel safe talking to, but don't actually know.
True.
If an outside person, a third party, they're not somebody who can tell them what to do, but it's somebody that can listen to them and then guide them.
Right. You're right. And that's what I, of course, 10 years later, I'm 10 years after being shot and stabbed and left for dead. I still see my counselor, or now I'm video seeing my counselor every week. And a lot of it is just she just listens to me babble off about what might be bothering me and how I'm still having some flashbacks and still dealing with, bullshit that Jim brought up in my life. Um, but that's just it. And once I get it off my chest, the truth is I'm pretty good. But
Yeah.
I just need somebody that's not going, that's not Lisa, that's not my mother, that's not that's not so connected to me that maybe later on in the day they might say, "Are you okay?" I don't want anybody to say, "Am I okay?" I just want to get this off my chest. And Tiffany's gonna say, "You're fine, Christy." This, positive thinking, boy, she's gonna give me some good energy, and I'm gonna be fine. But
Yeah.
I just needed to spew it out to somebody.
Yeah. You need somebody that doesn't judge you.
Yeah.
Right.
Bam. That's it right there. Easy. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I mean, I love listening to you talk. But see, that's why I so wanted you. One, I wanted to meet you, and then of course, you call me up. I got this massive celebrity calling me. I said, "Oh boy, this is really great." But you might try this too. Because it's like Jim has been a big part of your life and will always will be. Okay, and besides, I use Bob's technique all the time with the clients that I have, and a lot of them are overseas and all different type of cultures and all that. Same, I tell them to do the same thing. You stand in front of that mirror, say I love you, and they go, well, that's so icky and kind of gross. And I said, no, I mean, well, do you? Because you can't even say the word. So one is that you don't even know how that feels unless you love yourself. One, you don't know, you're disconnected. Okay, and to me, the God field is the love field, and it's high frequency, high energy, and to be in that high energy, God is all around you and inside of you. So when you look at yourself, it's I love you, and once you can do that, it's like, oh, I'm somebody, I'm unique, I was put on earth for a reason. And God doesn't make mistakes. He didn't just make extra people. He doesn't do that, or God doesn't do that. So you're not an extra person. So I think for you, first, where you might want to try this, and when you think about Jim and all that, it's one, forgive him, I forgive you, and thank him. Say, hey, thank you for making me who I am. Okay, and you're such a weak little bastard that you had to abuse me and all that, and you stole all my money, but you made me, help make me who I am, and I thank you for that. I think once you can change your focus, one is that he's no longer the enemy, and he was meant to be in your life, and I think he's made you better. Really, because I think he helped you find yourself, and now you're hearing. What I think too is that kind of like me, I don't think God wanted you to die. You could
Yeah.
have, and you should have. You should have been dead. How can you go through massive stabbings like that from a bigger guy and getting shot and live? You shouldn't have. But you're meant to be here, and like I say, you're a bigger influence outside of the ring than you were in, and you're a Hall of Famer. So you might want to try that, because when I chat with you and I listen to your emails and all that, it just makes me sad that one is that you don't believe in yourself, because I believe in you. I
Yeah.
believe in you.
I
And
appreciate it.
it's 100%. I just so believe in you, and I go, wow, look at you, and you beat a bullet, and you beat that bastard, and look at you, and so I just want you to so be happy in life, and you find Lisa. And it's one of those things where it's like, to me, past is past, you can always learn from it. But for you, it's, I just want you to be happy, because if you're going to live another 50 more years, or more, it's to your fullest, at your highest expression, rich in love, peace, joy, harmony, abundance, gratitude, inclusion, contribution. You see, and that's what I would like for you. And you're expressing some of that now with all of your programs and your nonprofit. But my thing is, you're giving to others. I said, well, what about you? Why aren't you giving to you? You're included in this. You see, you give to others, which makes you, it feels good, right? But what about giving to Christy? Because I just think you're such an incredible, awesome individual, and I can't imagine anybody stronger, right? And all those years you were alone, just like you were saying, isolated. Okay,
Right.
because you're
I
alone.
was very alone, and I just, and maybe you can help me out with this. I think I'm so afraid to believe in me because Jim convinced me that I was so egotistical and so all about me. And I really didn't think I was, but he convinced me that I was so much all about me. And so, my ego was out of control, and I was an arrogant ass, which I was a little bit of an arrogant ass, but I was, I was a fighter. I mean,
See,
but
well, that comes with the land. I mean, that's part of your job. You've got to be the ego's got to be huge.
you got to be confident. You know what? You're not going to be a champion. You're not going to be successful at whatever it may be if you're not confident. Well, because he beat me down and he so much convinced me that being arrogant is not a good thing. I won't say that, but being confident, borderline arrogant,
Yeah.
is really what pushes people to be successful in whatever field they decide to be in. And so I am so afraid to now be a little bit arrogant, a little bit egotistical, because I don't want people to not like me. I don't want to turn Lisa off. I don't want to, make people be against me because, oh, she's an arrogant ass. Well, and that's my struggle. I mean, that's bottom line. That's my struggle. Like if I just could, and there's some days where I think, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm just going to be back to like I was when I was a fighter. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. I'm going to take over the world. And then I get myself back in check. I'm like, no, you can't think like that. You can't be that. But I could be more of that arrogant ass that I was as a fighter. I really think I would be more, I would probably be able to even do more and be more successful and be able to get out there more to the people that I need to touch. It's just, I just still need that little extra push in myself.
Yeah.
What you got to do, you got to make a little file in your brain and leave that part in the file. And when you need the file, open the drawer. It's hey, look, I am the greatest. And then you turn around the next minute and say, yes, but what can I do for you?
Right.
Yeah, it's like you have to be able to turn it on and turn it off.
Right.
Yeah. It's like what I used to say all the time. And when I was playing, same deal. Okay, lead singer jumping up and down on stages all over the world. So this is what I did. I'm just like you fought. This is what I did. So I was the biggest piece of whatever you want to call it, in the world. I mean, I was great. I was, the voice and the whole 9 yards. Okay, that was all nice, but I was also a family man. I could go home to my family, and I was so normal. Even my neighbors on the block used to go, "You really did that?" It was like, "Yeah, I did that." And it was crazy because I could turn it off.
Right.
And I don't know, that was something that came natural though. I didn't have to learn it. For some reason, it just worked that way.
Yeah. No, the thing with ego is that without it, is that there'd be no technology, that there'd be no motorized horseless carriage. Okay, there'd be no cell phones. All of our leaders in the world, whether it be Hitler or John F. Kennedy, things like that, is that there wouldn't be any of that. So it's how you use it for so for you is that you used ego in that way. I win fights, but also it was worsened because Jim brought it to your attention. He used that against you. He used it. He weaponized it. Like this virus thing is being weaponized. You take a harmless virus and you call it a killer, right? And all of a sudden everyone's afraid. But see, so you can use your ego to your advantage because one is that you know how to win fights. You're not using your fists anymore. And in fact, I'm hoping you're not.
No.
those are the old days. But see, you can use your ego for something else. And one is that you can focus on not the arrogance, but your power, because that ego drove you to becoming a champion, and from there to buffer yourself against you don't accept me, my sexuality, and for all those years with Jim, is that you don't accept me for who I am. Is what I can do for you. Okay, and things like that. So you can redirect what you think about ego, because it's for you, it's not arrogance anymore. It's caring, giving, and for you, personal growth. And then we're all we're growing, because and what you find with people is that unless you're growing, you're dying. Growth is a human need, and because unless you're growing and expanding, you stay stuck. And that's why people are stuck in their jobs because, I want to get paid more because I work so hard. But, you're not bringing any value to the company. And, what else are you doing? And what are you learning? And the other part is, what are you giving? And part of that, which is a God law, is when you give, you have to learn how to be a good receiver. You've not yet learned how to be a good receiver, because I think you're an awesome individual. You're caring, you're loving, and you so wanted to share that love for all those years, but you were prevented to. And why? He says, well, why don't you just get out? It's not as easy as that, because here's your dream. You are now the biggest name in female boxing, the biggest name. Okay, you changed the sport forever. That's you. So you're basically iconic. Okay, but behind closed doors, says, I just want a normal life. I want to be loved, and I want to give love. I want to share all this, and here I am with this basic. It's a Nazi conscience camp. Type of commandant. Do this, do that. You're a piece of crap. You're no one because I made you someone. Whew. My gosh, that's the guy that really needed help. But guys like that there's real no help for, because that narcissism is ingrained and what the personality is, and he might have even been spiritless is what I learned with those that are spirited, spiritless, and spirit asleep. And so for you, got you at the right time, right place. But I think take that time to forgive him and thank him for helping you become who you are. And once you do that, now you're in control, not him anymore. Okay, you're in control, not him anymore. And like I said, and look where he is now. Okay, right. and stuff like that. And without you, he would have done that to someone else and all that. But you kind of knew his personality already, before you even, hooked up with the guy. Is that that's who that guy is. He wants to control, and this is an abuser. And I think, and this is what you teach to other people. But for you personally, I just think you're an awesome human being, and I believe in you. And then I get the emails from you, and then I listen to on some of your recordings and all that, and I can hear that that thing of not believing in yourself. I'm sorry this, I'm sorry that. And I said, no, Chris, nothing's your fault. You're so awesome. And the other thing is that it is one of those is focus and belief, because one, I don't think you're focusing on yourself enough, and I don't think you believe in yourself enough. Because in the ring, yes, okay, right. but this is just like the ring, except it's bigger. And I think here is where you grow, because that is also a human need, is growth, contribution, and things like that, significance and certainty, and there's a few more. But here's where your growth, I think, starts, because just with Bob's exercise, you look in that mirror and say, wow, God, I really love you. Man, you're just awesome. Mm-hmm. And and I reflect that in the emails I sent you. But when you start using those words, this is learning. Learning is repetition, mother of skill. You've got to learn it. Just like you learned how to box, you throw enough stiff jabs, then you get someone's attention, and then like I heard you say during that Collins fight, is that you hit them on the chin and they go to sleep.
Right.
I go, wow, right. I like that. You see, and so I think once you start doing that, doing repetition and focusing on yourself, you're going to become, that what you envision, because it starts with thanking Jim. Hey, thanks, and I forgive you, and boy, and with your help, I'm great and I'm getting better. But you're reflecting that in all your programs. Your nonprofit, and what you do with all these people that they don't know where to go. They're all suffering, they're isolated, they have no place to go or people to call, you see. And then you've given that to them, you see. And so as you give to them, you should give to yourself. You have to. And I think that this is something that you and Lisa can work on together, because for us humans, we're all diverse and different, right? But some are givers at different degrees, and some aren't. Some are takers. Right. Jim was a taker. He still is.
Yep.
Okay, take. It's never enough. And if he could keep you fighting into your 60s and 70s, he would, because yeah, I can use the money.
Because one of my friends had told my brother after I broke my hand in a fight.
Yep. Really?
Before I had the stroke, I broke my hand in the first time I fought the girl, Dakota Stone. And the guy after the fight told my brother, he said, tell your sister to retire, because as long as she can walk up those steps, Jim will put her in a fight.
Yeah.
And my brother told me, that my friends had said this, and I just said, he's absolutely right. As long as I can fight and make that ATM keep spitting out money, Jim's gonna put me in the ring. But again, I mean, I loved the boxing, so
Yeah.
I loved what I did, but I was getting tired. I was getting tired of not of boxing, but I was getting tired of gym and tired of the bullshit that I had to put up with and endure to be successful in boxing. I mean, the boxing part was great, but the life part was just all I could take. I was done, and I wanted to move on and live my life, be me.
That's kind of, I've heard that before, and that's when you belong to the world, not to yourself.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I mean, people wonder why entertainers sometimes do drugs or hang themselves or whatever else. That's what it is. You get to that point that it's right. Now you're up against the wall. Now you don't know where to go. There's only
Right.
one, like you said, you're programmed. This is what you're going to do all the
Right.
time. And it does go that far. You bailed out, thank goodness, way before you totally ruined yourself. But
Yeah.
you
I
it
probably
happens.
tried many times, but it's clear. I mean, God has a plan for me, and maybe I really do believe it's here just to be here to share my story and talk to people about domestic violence, and that, hey, if I can do it, if I can get out, so can you. If I can be strong enough to get up off the floor, so can you. And that's what I just want to keep getting out there to people. Like, hey, this somebody's tried to keep me down, but you just have to keep fighting.
What about I'm gonna take a right hand turn this light. What about the promoter part? I mean, I hear you're expanding into Florida.
Yeah, we're look, boxing is my life. That's all I know, really. I love it. So yeah, we've promoted in North Carolina, a few shows in Florida, and November 7th, I actually have a show in Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is going to be a great show. Have WBA champion on there. I have a possibility we're working on right now to get a WBC women's championship fight, which a lot of people they give me a little bit of heck because I don't put women fighters on my show every time, but it's hard. It's a tough to match those girls up and keep everybody fighting and happy. But we have a good solid card, and I'll be happy to be back on the East Coast. A lot of friends and family in that area, so hopefully we get great support. But yeah, it's going to be a great show. Like, doesn't normally get brought to the Carolinas.
Well, you were the promoter of the year in North Carolina in 2018. If I'm wrong, smack me.
You're right.
But you also named the promoter of the event of the year in, let me see, February 23rd in Charlotte.
Yeah.
I was like, when I saw that, I was like, she is heavy. I mean, this is good stuff.
Look, Don King was my promoter, so I only know how to do it. Basically the Don King way. I want to do good fights. I'm clearly not at that championship level, but I'm working to get there. My fights are competitive. I don't match an A against an F. I might not have all A's, but I can match two C's together. I'm gonna
Well,
make every fight's gonna be competitive. The fans are gonna get their money's worth. When they walk away, they're gonna be saying, they always do, when's the next one? Yeah, I mean, we don't do that. I tell the fighters at the weigh-in, I don't pay one-hitter quitters. So if you plan on laying down the first time you get hit, you might want to rethink that if you want to get paid, because you will not get paid if you just fall down and make a big scene.
well,
So we do real fights.
How many? All right. See, now, Doc, I'm going into a couple of things that I know here. How
No,
many
no,
rounds
because
do you
I
tell?
love this kind of.
How many rounds? How many rounds do you tell somebody they have to stand up?
Well, you can't tell somebody they have to stand up so many rounds. I'll give you a great example. I had a fight. I think it was in November of last year. Matched in Daytona, two small guys, 118 pounders, that I
Oh,
knew was going to be a war. Knew it was going to be a war. One guy comes out, catches the other one cold. I mean, in the first 15 seconds, hits him right on the chin and knocks him out. That was a fight that I would have bet you my life that would have gone the distance. But somebody got caught clean, got caught early, and it was night night. It was a legitimate knockout. It wasn't, I'm going to punch you over your head and you're going to fall down and roll around and act like you've been, shot. um, so you just never know. But you can tell if guys are really hurt, or if they're just getting out early. So you can tell.
yeah. Well, we had two of the world tours that I was on and it was a privilege actually to go with when the WWF became the WWF. We were the band. I was the singer on the other side of the arena.
Cool.
We had the band on one end and the wrestlers on the other end, and that's when they started putting in the glitz and the fire and the whole 9 yards. And that they came out of their underwear, like the old guys.
Right.
But what we used to do in it when we were out there is we used to, and the guys that we were with, all the wrestlers like the Indians and all those guys, the Hulk was with us and everything else. They said, look, in the morning we have breakfast and we go to the gym. I said, okay, good, go. No, you are going to the gym.
Wow.
So, and then these guys, they're not little guys. I mean,
Right.
I mean, even if I'm 6'1", so some of them are smaller than me, obviously, but they're bigger. I mean, geez, their arms are bigger than my whole body. But we used to go and we used to practice with them, and they used to do the practice. And I know what goes on in wrestling when people turn around and go, "Look at that guy! He's beating that guy." Oh yeah, he's beating that guy. Yeah. I mean, just what goes on in the ring, and there's too much. This one guy, I think it was one of the Indians in that, but he was a big guy. He was about maybe 210 or something. Big guy.
Mm.
Came off the top rung of the top turnbuckle
Yep.
Right.
and jumped on me. He told me to
Wow.
lay down middle of the thing, and he was going to jump on me.
Yeah.
All I felt was a little bit of a pressure from his stomach. That's
Right.
it. And he came off the top thing.
We can say what we want about those guys, but they're athletes.
I
That's
know.
right.
They are. They are. They are so, I mean, timing and everything else. And these guys, I'm telling you, we had a ball. I mean, really, for 2 years that we toured for these guys, and it was great. But, fighting, when I was a kid, I was Golden Gloves.
Right.
Little skinny kid, like you say, 118 pounds, you know what I mean? You come out and you start fighting. Well, I did all that when I was smaller because when I was in school, there was such a thing as, people who wanted to beat you up because you were smaller, skinnier, smarter,
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. So my dad, one time before he passed away, said to me, he says, you got to go and you got to learn how to fight back. I said, okay, so teach me. Not me, he says. So he took me off to this famous, at the time, boxers gym, and they taught kids how to
Right.
fight.
Yeah.
So I learned the correct way to fight. And I didn't realize that fighting was so you have to, I mean, you're a machine. You have to know what to do. You have to know how to hit. You have to know what a cross is and all the rest of the things. And believe it, the first guy I ever had that I had to beat up, it was over in about 60 seconds.
Right.
I'm serious. That kid, he was down. I mean, down, down, down. His father came up, wanted to sue us in the whole 9 yards. It was so funny. But I was only in high school.
Yeah.
But, it was one of these things where I know exactly where you're coming from because even though I didn't get to your status and in the boxing thing, there is a certain I am me, kind of feeling in that. And what you're doing right now and using it to do something for domestic violence people that are in trouble. And that when you put those two things together, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really is amazing. I mean, you're talking, it's like an atom bomb of energy that you're
And
not
people are
affected.
like, it's not a like how can you make this a combination, boxing and domestic violence? But that's who I am, number one. But number two is a lot of the people that come up through the boxing gyms, a lot of those kids are in domestic violence situations. They're seeing domestic violence at their house. So this is where we need to step in and start to break the cycle. You know, teach those kids that this isn't normal. This isn't what is happening at everybody else's house. This is just what's happening at your house that isn't the right way. And this is what we need you to not do. Don't follow in these same footsteps. We need you to be the one that stands up and says, no, I'm not going to, whether it's male or female. No, I'm not touching anybody. I'm
Right.
not, I'm not into this physical altercation. If I'm not happy, I'll need to walk away. I don't need to do any physical aggressiveness.
It's amazing how you can put the sport together with domestic violence and get 100% return on your whatever energy you put into it.
For
That's
sure. It's to me, it's the I always have wherever we promote a show, we always have the local domestic violence shelter that will come and set up a table and pass out literature because they know this is the group of people. I mean, domestic violence sees no race, socioeconomic class. It's everywhere. But they know that this is the audience that is most likely to
Mhm.
have domestic violence in the audience. So they're there to pass out information. They're there to even take donations if somebody wants to help support the cause, or just to make people more aware. Sometimes I just don't think people keep their eyes open. If they open up their eyes and see how the neighbor talks to his wife, all constantly, playfully, it seems, but you put her down. You put her down. Well, that's not playful after a while. I mean, maybe once. I mean, I have to check myself because sometimes I do it in a loving way, but I have to check myself like, oh no, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. I should never have say, I should never say something negative. But those are the things that we have to be more aware of. If we could see it continually over and over and over, there's an issue. And we need to make people aware of it. Call them on it. Don't be afraid.
That's not a bad idea. That would work. How's
What are they gonna
that?
do? What did that mean? Really, what are they gonna do?
Hey, you're right. Hey, listen, you want that steak down your throat? Come here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, now this is all awesome because you're combining, a very rough sport, and then with domestic violence, which is just mirroring your life, and this and it's creating such a difference. You know what I think is going to happen is that in this journey of yours, you're going to end up being a personal development teacher, because that's what you're doing exactly right now. You're helping people develop, because there's this emotionality, type of cognition, type of belief system, and of the physicality too. And combining that for all negative things is win-lose. Nothing to do with love. Nothing. It's all selfish. And for someone like Jim, his was the extreme. That's where the narcissism is. And you were there, and I think you benefited a lot from that, not only professionally, but finding out what the depths of depravity can be, because you lived through it, because you were treated not less than a person. You
Right.
wouldn't treat an animal like this, but he knew that I send her in the ring, and you're going to get a good purse out of the deal, and I'll get good money out of the deal. So just keep you fighting. And so he took your passion and something that you did well, and some place where you were accepted, which was the ring and your fans. Okay, and then he used that against you, and that makes him a smart criminal, but criminal nonetheless. But I think that you are who you are now because of that. But I just think you're going to expand your program to include personal development, for these folks. And like I said, this is something you don't need to learn because you already know it. You already live it, and you've taught yourself. And I think that can be added to your program because that's exactly what you're doing. You see, and I guess from my mind to you is that work on practice, of course, being a better receiver because you are so deserving, so deserving. Just like that. And so it's kind of weird, right? But because giving feels good, but a lot of us out there that and you're a giver, we tend not to be good receivers because you were basically in prison for 20 odd years, and so and you were taught to be a certain way. This is how you win a war. This is how you beat down prisoners. Okay, you guys are lowly scumbags and you're nothing because of me, and here's some crumbs and all that, and then from there you start believing all that crap, and that becomes yours. And this is what parents do right now. You're not smart like Johnny, you're not good looking like your sister, blah blah. You're not going to amount to much, and you repeat that early on and enough times, with the repetition, the kids believe it. Oh, I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I could never do what she does. Oh, she's a star. And then their whole life is like that. So you can flip that around, and you have for yourself. And that's why I want you to believe in yourself because you've already done it. you see, but the thing is that you're still not quite there accepting yourself yet, and that's why I like Bob's tips a lot because it forces you to confront yourself. I love you, I love you, I love you the way you are. Okay, and then once you start doing that, believe me, say I'm okay, because I was telling you earlier, God doesn't make extra people. God is this wonderful entity that put us on earth for a reason. It's us to find out what that reason is, and you found yours. So it's just honored to just have you in our lives like this, and all the lives that you're changing, all those people that don't know you, and Bob had kind of touched on this earlier. All those people that don't know you, you're changing their lives, and you don't even know it because you are who you are. You went through what you went through. Okay, you're stronger and more incredible than you were because as big a champion as you were in the ring, you're, gazillion times more that outside. You see, and I think one, you should honor yourself for it. You should receive all that praise and accolades and feel good about that. And so you feel good with the giving, but also feel good about receiving. You see, because you're so worth it. And you make us all better, and there are people watching this from all over the world, and they go, wow, look at her. I wonder if I can do that. She did it. I wonder if I could do that. So you pose those possibilities to people. So Christy, you're such an awesome person, and I believe in you, and I would like you to know or believe that I believe in you. And practice is going to help, but I think Bob's exercises is really going to help too. But what you're doing is so incredible. It's just so incredible about the good you're doing for others. But I would like you to work on being a better receiver, receiver, because you're worth it and you're special. And damn it, you didn't die.
No, can't keep a good one down.
You weren't meant to die.
Hey, Doc, you know what? It's funny that we're sitting here with 3 survivors.
Oh.
All on one show. This is pretty good. I mean, I was gone. I went to heaven. I came back. They threw me back. I was like a bad fish. Get out of here. Not yet.
Not time.
Not yet. Right. Exactly. Christy, tell us how people are going to get in touch with you in a few last words.
Yeah, I just thank everybody for all the support and the messages that I get after people see. Like, I've done a lot of shows on the ID channel. Netflix is coming out with a great documentary. 48 Hours is doing a documentary that'll be out in November. We have a major motion picture that eventually, when things get back to normal, hopefully gets done. But just to hear people message me and say, "Hey, you helped me. You gave me strength." It means the world to me. When I try to message everybody back and I tell them that their words they have no idea what their words mean to me. And there's some days that those words are so strong and they like make the difference in my day. So I'm so appreciative of everybody's response. We're just going to keep keeping on, and I'm going to stay in touch with you guys, and I'm going to prove to you that I am going to start believing in me more. I'm going to start the applications, and we'll check back in a week or 2 or 3 or whenever you guys want to talk, and I'm going to be stronger. I promise.
The doctor has a couple of ideas that I gave him that he will speak to you about. If we can be any help to you, and that we're here. This is a platform that's France. We get nice letters from Russia after these shows, but it's funny, and I'm no collusion. But
everybody else does. Why not you? Come on.
Yeah, no collusion. No, these are students. So, but the idea is, and that if we can do anything, and that for people anywhere in the world, and that we do it, that's what we're here for. So actually, your addition to people who we talk to, and that who do or are helping people in the world, and that you're a plus that we're honored to have aboard.
Yeah,
awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you again soon.
How can we get in touch with you?
People can through Facebook, Christy Martin, Christy Salters Martin, Instagram, Christy Salters Martin. I think it's WBC champion. I'm easy to find. My website is actually down right now. I'm stressing and hunting to find somebody to get it back up because I don't have that kind of knowledge, but it will be back up soon. I'm easy to find for sure.
Well, send us a copy of the one after we send you a copy of the show. Send us a copy of the website so that when it is up, we can put it out.
For sure. It'll say the same address as ChristyMartinPromotions.com, but we will, it will be up hopefully within the week.
There you go. Doc, really honest.
No, you got to help me with this one now. What was that thing you're telling me about with that new Skype promotion about all those people being able to either call in or, participate?
Yeah, we can have another show. You can advertise it as a webinar.
I wrote to Christy about that, too. Yeah. But I would like that because this is such an important thing, and I'd like to get her name more out there. It already is, but I think this is a different venue and a different time and place in life. And so if we can do a webinar. With her, we're gonna, I think, impact more people.
We could do something like that, today is Wednesday, but maybe on a Thursday, once a month or something. Write to everybody that because what's going to happen is, and you've probably seen this yourself, Christy, people don't come in right away. You'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. Next time you get 15. Next time you get 60. And that's the way it goes because people want to see something. They want to be proved that they can get in and they can talk to somebody. Right. And that kind of thing happens. A webinar, you can throw things all over the place, and then people come into webinars not because they have a reason, but because they want to see. They want to see what's going on. These are people with reasons to come in. And we want them to come in for that reason and talk about it. Because that talking will not only get it off their chest, but it will help the rest of the people listening. People want to know that other people feel like they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there is a solution to the way you feel. So if we can help in that way, we'll do it.
Yeah.
No, I'm on board. You guys, anything that you need, I'm on board.
Bam. Okay, Doc.
So cool. No, Christy, like I said, I'm glad you called back, and then you're here, and let's keep this going. And like I say, you honor us for being here, and I'm so grateful for that. And but yeah, like I said, just knowing you, I'm just happier. And then we're gonna end up doing some good things, and I get to have Bob in my life. And especially in these critical times now, we can make a difference, like a big one that has a big impact. And there's no other bigger impact than you. So I thank you for that, and let's keep going.
Thank you. Absolutely. Let's do it.
There you go, gang.
All right.
And as we always say, ladies and gentlemen, you can download a copy of this show right off YouTube from Pyramid One Radio. You can listen to Dr. Randall George Nozawa and his guest, Salters. This is a show that you don't want to miss. You need this show. Trust me. Thank you for being here. God bless y'all. Bob Charles.